A man that knows how to win. Mathieu Van der Poel has many countless victories in different disciplines of the sport of cycling, as well as making it look easy when most everyday world champions would struggle. Let's go back to the beginning, when Van der Poel was nothing but a name as if it was of noble blood in cycling. It's 2012, when he did the impressive feat at the junior level by winning the Big Three in cyclocross, and that is being the junior, national, Euro and finally world champion altogether. He not only did this once, but he did it twice the following year, with the Belgian thorn in his side, Wout van Aert, to try and stop him. In the 2019 season, it was like Mathieu Van der Poel could do no wrong, apart from the wills, but let's not go there. But his second win of the season was the newly adopted paved classic that has undergone a transformation in the favour of the Class 6 riders. Mathieu Van der Poel put in the critical move to win the race with less than 9 kilometres to the finish, and he demonstrated his immense power and no one else was able to stay with him, and he was able to clinch the win with very little effort whatsoever. Mathieu Van der Poel turned pro at the age of 19 back in 2014. This was back when Alpecin Phoenix was actually called BKCP Power Plus, and it didn't take long for the young Dutch rider to show his potential. In the 200km semi-cobbled RONDE van Limburg in Belgium, which had plenty of World Tour teams such as Belkin Pro Cycling and Lotto Belisol. Nevertheless, Mathieu Van der Poel managed to hang in there at the finish and win the sprint in front of Paul Martens and even Gregory Henderson. This is incidentally also a race he won back in 2018, and its record as the youngest winner still stands. While racking up plenty of wins, bit by bit as a pro, Van der Poel would show his critics that he is untouchable, with the final part of the 2018 Arctic race of Norway, where it was a hilly stage, and the final stretch of course was a very punchy hill, where Van der Poel clearly made his case that he is not to be taken lightly. With the final sprint, we usually see a whole bunch together as if they're equal, but not with Van der Poel. Oh no, even with 90 miles of racing, he still had far enough in him to finish off his opponents many times over.
I'm just calling to say
At the race of the two Cs, Van der Poel was certainly not looking to take the full GC win, but he certainly wasn't going to let a waste opportunity to show off what he's really made of. And he certainly did that on a penultimate stage before the time trial to finish off the entire race, with the course being about 112 miles and having to face fierce opponents like the overall winner of the race, which was Simon Yates, and even the Tour de France winner Geraint Thomas. But they certainly weren't expecting this on the penultimate stage, that within 2 miles with Van der Poel and his group, they certainly weren't expecting this. With 2 miles to go and Van der Poel, along with his group, trying to chase the breakaway cyclist, Van der Poel just went absolutely ballistic and took the lead, leaving the Bora-Hansgrohe rider in despair of hopes to win the stage, making it look too easy, climb to the top and then taking the win.
just calling to say
With the current pandemic affecting a lot of racing, we didn't see much of Van der Poel, and with his performances being a little bit lacklustre, he however wanted to make a statement in the 2020 National Dutch Road Championship. And the odds were not in Mathieu Van der Poel's favour, as there was a plethora of Jumbo-Visma riders at the start line. Regardless, the Dutch rider managed to clinch what seems to be an effortless win, as he was 1 minute and 30 seconds ahead of the runner-up of the race.
just calling to say
In the Class 6 stage focus led the BINKBACK Tour, Mathieu Van der Poel clearly wanted to make a statement on stage 5. The Dutch champion attacked at the 75km to go mark on the second of the 4 ascents of the Muur van Geraardsbergen to bridge across to the day's earlier breakaway of 7 riders. After catching the early breakaway, Van der Poel attacked again with 47km to go, this time going solo. Mathieu Van der Poel managed to stick it and stole the show with his courageous long-range attack to take the stage win, and in the process secure the overall victory.
just calling to say
It's 2020 and your rival just returns from a serious injury, and another kid on the block comes along to challenge you, this being Tom Pidcock. with Cyclocross World Championships is 3-2 to Wout. As the race started, Van der Poel didn't mess about. He wanted to even the score and make sure not even the high potential junior and under 23 cyclocross world champion doesn't get his chance of a win. Sadly for Wout, but good for Van der Poel, he wasn't fully 100%, this meant only the Brit would stand in his way. But still, Van der Poel minced Pidcock, getting his third world championship win with a massive gap between Pidcock, the runner-up, with a gap of 1 minute and 20 seconds. We certainly look forward to seeing the three Titans back on full form again to settle the score between them.
Just calling to say
Finishing off with his most recent win, and one Van der Poel has been going for some time now. That is the Tour of Flanders, a truly beautiful classic race that has his name now stand on the shoulders of giants like Cancellara, Peter Sagan and even the GOAT himself, Eddie the Cannibal Merckx. This was an extraordinary achievement not only because he was part of a pro-continental team, also because it was 34 years after his father Adriatic Van der Poel won the same race. That's all we had to talk about Mathieu Van der Poel's achievements. Please like, subscribe and also click the bell icon so that you'll be notified whenever we post new content. And if you want to see part 1 of Mathieu Van der Poel's wow moments, link in the description. And as always, have a nice day.